Hi, hello. Happy Friday, unless you're watching the replay, in which case let me know, #replay. Hello out there in internet land. I'm coming to you live. This is Jennifer DeVue. And if this is your first time watching me live, I want you to know that I'm so happy you're here, and I hope that you decide to continue to join us in our meditation circles. And I am a certified life coach, hypnotherapist, and host of Tune Into You Meditation Podcast. Hello. And I want to talk to you today about living the life of your dreams, the journey to self-love. And why did I call it that? Well, because so much of actually living the life that we want to live and doing what we want to do is about our relationship to ourselves and how we see ourselves and what we believe that we deserve. Good morning. I heard this quote from Lewis Howes. And when I heard this, and I think I've mentioned this in other lives, so if you've heard me say this before, cool. When I heard this, it did this little like click, and I was like, oh, interesting. Here's what he said. He said, and I quote, "You have the life that you believe you deserve." Kind of loaded, isn't it? Yeah, I thought so too. So what does that mean? You have the life you believe you deserve. Well, first of all, let's look at that word deserve, right? What does that mean? First of all, I think most of us can agree it's judgment. Okay. And who says, right? Who's deciding what anyone does or doesn't deserve? And what is that decision even based on? So first of all, deserving is a judgment. And when it comes to you having the life of your dreams, the life that you have is based 100% on what you have decided that you deserve. It's the judgments that you put on yourself, which is like, but it's also awesome because you have control there. There's something you can do about that. So let's look at this. I want you to think about your life right now, and I want you to think about where you're living, the kind of car you drive, the clothes you wear, the relationships you have in your life, your career, the kind of food you eat. Just take a little assessment of what your life looks like right now, with this in mind, that you have exactly what you believe you deserve. Okay, which again we said is just the judgments that we've placed on ourselves. Good morning. Jason says that's a new can of worms to open in the last 25 years of Jason. So what determines what we believe we deserve? Is it what our parents taught us? Is it, what we see society as deeming deserving or worthy? Is it, what we've seen other people can and can't have? Or is it what we, think that we've been told we can or can't have? Like, what is that for you? What is created for you, your idea of what you deserve? Now, here's something about deserving. The Google definition is do something or have something, have or show qualities worthy of, parentheses, reward or punishment. Okay. So, quote, the referee deserves a pat on the back for his bravery. All right. So there's a couple key things that I noticed in that definition. One of them, in the example, he deserved a pat on the back for his bravery. So there's a judgment there that this thing, bravery, is deserving of a reward, the pat on the back, right? So bravery is a value. Okay, it's a value. Now, every single one of us has our own values. We have what's most important to us. And what we really feel deep down matters and is worthy of our lives and our attention. Those are our values. But most of the time, we don't judge our lives based on our values. We judge our lives based on everyone else's values or the perception of everyone else's values. So we judge what we deserve based on what the society or the world or a perception of society in the world has decided is valuable. And then we allow ourselves to live the life that matches those values, even when those values aren't the same as ours. So that's something I want you to look at. What is most important to you? What are your values? And start to decide what you can and can't do and can and can't have based on your values, not anyone else's. Ryan says, yes, I see this. Awesome. I'm so glad this is landing. So the other piece that I wanted to talk to you about today is, so I wanted to mention this first. Sometimes we change internally, but the outside hasn't matched it yet. The outside circumstances haven't rearranged themselves to match that inner truth yet. So sometimes we grow, and then it takes faith for us to continue to see that growth in ourselves before it shows up around us. So when you did that little evaluation and evaluated where you're at in your life and what you deserve, what you believe you deserve based on where you're at in your life, that may not totally match, okay? You may be in an amazing period of growth and transformation where you are changing internally and seeing your value in a new way, and it just hasn't shown up yet. So I just wanted to mention that piece because I know that's something that tripped me up at certain points where I was like, why aren't things changing? Like, I feel like I've grown so much. I feel like I understand this so much better. Why are these things changing? And it takes a little bit of faith at that stage to trust that the internal shift has happened and that it will be mirrored, that it will reflect in the world around you, that that's rearranging itself to match you. And sometimes it's not immediate. Okay. So, how to live the life of your dreams? Well, if everything that you have in your life is what you believe you deserve, then the question becomes, how do I change what I believe I deserve? So the first thing that we've talked about so far is letting your judgment of what you deserve be based on your values, not the perceived values of the rest of the world. But here's the other part. If it's all a judgment, then what is that judgment based on? Like, what does it actually work to judge ourselves? And I talk about this so much when I talk about perfectionism and overcoming perfectionism, procrastination, lack of follow through, lack of motivation. And especially perfectionism is coming from this place of, I have this ideal, I have this perfect image in my head of what I should be or could be, right? And I'm constantly judging and comparing myself to that image. And because this is this perfect ideal, and I'm never actually going to reach it, and even if I did, it wouldn't be what I think it is. Side note, right? I'm constantly in a state of not good enough, not living up to it, inadequate. And I miss out on the joy of actually living my life, actually being here right now, actually really appreciating what I'm doing and who I am right now because of this ideal. It's the same thing when we're deciding what we deserve. What do I deserve? Well, first of all, deserving is a judgment. And so it can literally be anything that I decide it is, because it's based on nothing. It's based on anything that I decide is based on. And as long as you are the one, as long as you acknowledge that you are the one making these calls, then you can believe whatever you want to believe. But the first thing that you have to do is know what your judgments of you are. How am I judging myself? What is it that I've decided about me that has created the reality of what I believe I deserve in my life? And that's why I'm going to use the word deserve, because it is a judgment and because it is a trigger word and because it does bring up what it is that has been hiding, sneaking around under the surface for us, all the judgments that we've been placing on ourselves. And when we can begin to see them, release them, let them go, we can actually transform not just what we believe we deserve, but what we actually experience in our lives. So let's do a little closed eye process. You might call it a guided meditation if you want. We're going to do a little closed eye process to begin to change this. Begin to really look at this, bring awareness to this, and transform this within ourselves. Okay. If you'd like to join me in this little closed eye process, this guided meditation, get comfortable, get relaxed, kind of settle in, find yourself a spot. Go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. If you want to, you can close your eyes. And just breathe for a moment. Let's just settle in. I want you to imagine all the energy in your body, all the buzzing, moving energy in your body just whoosh, falls down into the earth, grounding you. Imagine this sense of calm just washing over you. From the top of your head all the way down to your toes. Shh. Kitty. Come here. Come here. Okay. And as you settle in, focusing on your breath, I want you to think about what you deserve. And maybe nothing will come up at first as you ask yourself this question, what do I deserve? And again, I use this word on purpose, this trigger, intentionally to bring up the judgments that we have of ourselves. So with your eyes closed, just breathing deeply and slowly, just beginning to explore, what do I deserve? What does anyone deserve? What does it mean to deserve or not deserve? Who decides? And what does your heart know? What knowing can you connect with underneath this, deep within? As you just breathe. And if something comes, you can share it, or you can just be with it. I'll give you another moment to be with these questions, and then I'll share. Here's what comes alive within me when I ask this question. What do I deserve? What does that even mean? Deep in my heart, what I come to is that what we deserve, what we judge as good, is always based on what our goal is. It's subjective to the goal. So what do I deserve if my goal is life? If my goal is to support all of life thriving. And what comes alive in me is that I deserve to live the most incredible life I could possibly imagine. Because I know deep down that when I live that life, when I bring all of me to the world and I have everything I desire and I move in the world in the most magical way I can imagine, that supports not only life in me, but in everyone that I touch, in everywhere that ripples out, in everyone that inspires. It supports the expansion of life. It supports the thriving of life itself. So if what we deserve is based on what the goal is, the intention, what is your intention for your life? Is it to get it right? And if it is to get it right, what is right? Who decides? And I want you to ask yourself right now, how often do you judge yourself? How often do you find yourself lacking? The life of your dreams is a journey of self-love. It's a journey of transforming every place that you find lack within yourself into a place where you find purpose, where you find the gift of you that is waiting to be born in the world. And what if every single thing you judge in yourself as a wrongness is a gift in disguise? And when you can choose this perception, you can change your life. And I want you to ask yourself here with me, with eyes closed, what would happen if you didn't judge yourself anymore? If you decided that you're all right, that you're perfect, that you're whole, just as you are. Sometimes this question will bring up ideas of, oh, well, I would become lazy and I would just stagnate. There'd be nothing pushing me. There'd be nothing urging me to get better, to grow. And I want you to know that I call bullshit. And I want you to just hear this as you tune into yourself and feel how this resonates in your heart in this moment. As I let you know that when you give up judging yourself as motivation, as a way to push yourself, when you give it up, And you settle into a knowing that you are perfect, that everything you're doing is right, that you're good enough, that you are already everything you've ever wanted to be. You still grow. You couldn't not if you tried. You'll still grow, you'll still become more of you. You'll continue to expand into deeper and deeper understanding, communion with who you truly are. Driven from a place of creativity, driven from a place of what else is possible, driven from a place of what do I want to create, rather than a space of what's wrong, what do I need to fix, or what's missing. And from this place, let me be the one to say that you do deserve the life of your dreams. Not only do you deserve to live a life of prosperity, joy, expansion, beauty, depth, but that by you doing so, you are creating the world that you want to see. See, when we talk about deserving, it puts the power outside of us. Something about the term to deserve, it's about what someone else or something else has decided is right or wrong, or good or bad, or worthy or unworthy. And when you take that power back for yourself and recognize that you are the one deciding, then to deserve or not deserve becomes irrelevant. And here's the truth that lights up within me when I ask these questions. Let's ask for a moment, what does the universe believe that we deserve? What does the universe deem as worthy? And here's what comes up for me. Everything that exists deserves to exist. Otherwise, how could it? The universe itself has deemed that this thing is worthy of existing. That applies to every single happening, person, thing in existence. The universe itself transcends right and wrong simply by being. And so do you. And so the only question remaining is, what do you want to choose? Because you are the universe, playing on the infinite playground of existence. And you're the one deciding what gets to be, what deserves to be in your life. And as you feel into your body as I speak these words, notice if there's a sense of lightness. Notice anywhere where there's a little bit of heaviness, perhaps. Maybe there's a lie that you've bought about yourself or about the world. And what's true for you will always be light, expansive, an opening. And you can rest assured that any heaviness, these are the lies that we buy. These are the untruths that we stick to ourselves. And now in this moment, we have the opportunity to let them fall away. Now, and now, and now, and now, and each moment. But remember, please, that right now is the only moment where change can happen. What you believe you deserve will not happen in the future. What you believe you deserve will not change in the future. It's right here, right now. And as you feel into your heart, into your core, into your center, I invite you to connect with love in whatever way is meaningful for you. Maybe it's just love of being alive. Maybe it's love, universal, unconditional. What do you know in your heart that you deserve? Yes, right there. And don't let anyone or anything else ever bring doubt to this knowing. Move from this knowing, and you will have the life of your dreams. And if your eyes were closed, I invite you to go ahead and open your eyes. Let's take a couple deep breaths together. Just at your own pace. Just take a few deep breaths. And I want to thank you for taking this time to tune in. So much gratitude, so much honor, so much respect to you. Namaste. Thank you for joining. If you want to leave a comment, pop something in the chat and share what's true for you. What is this bringing up for you? I'll stay on for just another minute, and just in case we want to talk about it, just in case we want to break it down, just in case we want to crack it open and look inside. Oh, I always knew I'm doing my job when I make someone cry. Sounds so bad. Oh, but that's beautiful. So what did this pop up for you? Ryan says, this one made me cry. So, Ryan, what did this open for you? What are you realizing? Jason says, I'm going to be digesting this for a while. There's a lot here. And I encourage you to come back to it. And I encourage you to keep asking yourself these questions, right? What do I deserve? What does that mean? Who decides that? What do I know in my heart truly? What do I know about this? That's become one of my favorite questions to ask. What do I know about this? To open up new possibilities. Is this a want or a need? Yes. Yeah. Ryan says, my childhood, I was always asked, is this a want or a need? I was too. And what that does to our very inferential brains is it makes us think that wants aren't valid, that they're not worthy, that we shouldn't want things, or that it's not okay to want things, or that it's not like we don't deserve to have what we want, right? It creates all of these kind of implicit judgments that are kind of in the background that we don't even question anymore. They're just kind of sneaky below the surface. And I've really gotten to unpack that and really come back to my knowing. Again, what do I know about this? Desire is the fuel of life, beyond judgment, beyond right and wrong. What do we have left? We have desire and inspiration. And these, to me, are divinely gifted. The desires deep in my heart, where did they come from? For me, they came from the divine. And so it is my divine purpose to create what I desire. Not just for myself, but for the whole universe moving through me. So what do you want? That's your calling. That's what the entire universe is conspiring for you to create. What you want matters. That's my message. Jason says, when did I decide I deserved a high mileage truck, money pit, customer service jobs, and making no more than 20K per year for what my potential supposedly says I can do better? Jason, I've been there. I worked minimum wage all the way up until I decided to start my own business. And for many, many, many years, I didn't think anything else was possible. And I also wondered these same questions. And my message for you is to recognize that all of those things that you've decided you deserve, are you the one who decided it? Or did you let someone else tell you what you deserve? Or did you watch someone else's example of what they decided they deserved and you took that on as your own? Now is the time to rewrite that story. It doesn't have to be what anyone else said, what anyone else does or doesn't do, what anyone else believes. Now it's your turn to decide what you believe, to decide what you deserve. By trusting that little voice within you that I know is there, the one that says that you are meant for more, the one that says that there is something else possible for you. Ryan says, wow, this is a really great message and conversation today. Oh yeah, nailed it. I love this conversation. I want to have this conversation every single day. So if you want to have more of this conversation, right here. Yeah. There's more. There's more here. We know there's more here. There's more to discuss. There's more to unpack. There's more to unravel and unveil. And here's my message for you. When you're with yourself and you're going through this process and you really want to change this, All it takes is self-awareness and choice. But this piece has to be there. You have to have the self-awareness. So every time you see, oh, repetitive rejection and being passed over has lowered my self-belief. Okay, what was that? What happened? What did I decide about myself? What's the story I made up here? And as soon as you see it and see it clearly for what it really is, that's when you can change it. That's when you have choice. So keep asking. Keep asking yourself, how did I create this? What did I use to create this? Oh, I let that experience of rejection create my belief that I'm not good enough, despite the source within me deep down that knows that I am. So who am I going to believe? What am I going to choose now? Am I going to keep believing this that I have so much evidence for? Or am I going to finally choose to believe something else because I know that it will create greater for me? And I've had to get to the very bottom of the pit. I've had to fall flat on my face and be at the very bottom of the pit where it was either I believe that I'm a piece of shit and believe all the evidence I have to support it, and I just go die in a hole. Yes, I'm dramatic. Or I just freaking choose to believe something else, even if I don't have the evidence yet. And sometimes that's what it takes. But the choice is yours. And that's my message for you. So that's where I'm going to leave you today. But I do want to come back to this topic. So if there's something that you want to dive into, let me know and we'll discuss it. We'll come back to it. I'll create something for you for that. And I will be back again on Monday with another short guided meditation just for you. Mwah! I love you guys so much. You're amazing. I'll see you later. Have an amazing day or night or whatever it is for you. Bye for now.